I think one of the most important things that I talk about quite often is about mindset and the importance of it and what that means, and how we have to push through things that are very challenging at times, and that it's not an easy linear path just all the way to the top, which I've talked about before. It's a lot of ups and downs. And one of the best examples that I've used in the past is that 5 years ago, I didn't swim. So I wasn't a swimmer or a cyclist, and I had to really decide that if I wanted to become an Ironman athlete, one of the things I had to decide is, learn how to swim better. So my first race, which was in Muskoka, I actually drowned, and that was terrifying. And then I decided, okay, well, I better get a swim coach because clearly I don't know how to swim. Anyway, so then I hired a swim coach, and it wasn't the right fit. And I'll never forget him. He put me in a pool, and I kept telling him I couldn't breathe. For some reason, I just couldn't get the breathing pattern. And he just yelled at me. He was like, swim, don't be this, don't be that. And I jumped into the pool, and I did. And what happened? I drowned, So, that happened over and over again. And for 2 years, so I hired a new coach, and for 2 years, I jumped into a pool and I would cry literally in my goggles, a grown ass adult. And I would just sit there crying, because it was so frustrating to know that I'd see all these better swimmers and go, what is going on? And so why can't I breathe in a pool? And the moral of that lesson is I never gave up. I had to trust the process. My coach told me, if you keep working at it, if you keep doing it, if you keep practicing it, and you embrace it, and you go in and you don't let it get in your head, you keep pushing through it, you'll get there. It comes, it all comes. Success will come to anybody who works hard, who doesn't give up, who is resilient. And it was really hard to believe at the time, really hard to believe. I was like, maybe I'm just not coordinated enough to swim. So anyway, long story short, I put in the effort, I put in the work. 5 years later, fast forward, 3 times a week, I would hit the pool. And then when I thought, okay, I need to get better, I went 4 times a week. I went all in on it. And 5 years later, I'm one of the fastest people. I'm in the fastest swim lane that there is in the pool. I'm excellent at swimming. I'm incredibly confident. My first Ironman race that I did, I picked actually Lake Michigan for the hardest swim. It's one of the most dangerous swims that there is in the Ironman circuit. So I picked it. I've had many instances where swimming has, required non-wetsuit swims, being pulled out into the Gulf of Mexico. I've had many instances where being a strong swimmer has come to save me. And I look back and I go, I'm an Ironman world champion. I'm ranked 19th, and I'm sitting here going, this is what hard work is. This is what it is. It's not being able to see where you're going to end up, not being able to see the forest before the trees, but believing that you're going to get there. And that's one of the reasons why I love coaching other agents as well, is because you have to believe, and they should believe in themselves. And I've seen it 1,000 times in coaching, is that, the agents that I work with and the teams that I work with, they have to believe that they can get there. And if they can see it and they're willing to do the work, they will get there. And it's always that way. It's the same thing with swimming. So it is really incredible. It's incredible, because had you told me when I was drowning, I never would have believed that I could get here. But I had the right support system, and I had the right mental attitude to say, don't give up, just keep going, just keep practicing. It's not impossible to learn how to swim, nor is it impossible to become the best at something.